Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Very troubling story if that's no more to it than they tell us here in this article. So let's see what's going on. This article comes from Sputnik and it is from today, the 14th of December 2022. Norwegian woman faces prison term for quote-unquote criminal transphobia after claiming men cannot be lesbians. In a social media post that landed a Norwegian lesbian woman in trouble, she said that it was, and I'm quoting, just as impossible for men to become lesbian as it is for men to become pregnant, end quote. Let's ignore the reality or the truth or lack of the statement. Can you have this kind of crazy statements? Can you make this kind of crazy statements? Let's say I say tomorrow, actually, there's no moon out there. That's a piece of cheese, actually. Should I get locked up for that? Or let's say I say, well, I don't like, let's say, people with blue eyes. I like people with, black eyes. Should I be thrown in prison for that? Or I say, tall people are more beautiful or more attractive than short people. It's not based on anything. It's just true, not true. Or even if I say, the earth is a cube. It's not a sphere, it's a cube. Should I be thrown in prison? I mean, that's demonstrably wrong. Should I be? For saying something like this. And if not, why here? Anyway, so the claim that, and I'm quoting, men are men regardless of their sexual fetishes, end quote, and cannot be lesbians, has gotten a woman in Norway in hot water. Tonje Jevjon, an artist and herself a lesbian, was informed on November 17th that she was under police investigation for hate speech after making a post on Facebook. She is now facing criminal charges and could even find herself behind bars for up to 3 years. Is Norway part of the free world? Is it with free speech? Yeah, unless you say something that some people are... Jevjon, that's her name, last name, sorry for mispronouncing it and butchering the name, but that's how, Gjevjon, or Gjevjon, lashed out on social media against trans-identifying males who call themselves, and I'm quoting, lesbians, end quote. She also raged against the trans activists who have opposed her and others who oppose their gender identity. I don't know what's going on here. So trans activists who have targeted her and others who oppose their gender ideology. And I'm quoting, it's just as impossible, I'm quoting her, it's just as impossible for men to become lesbian as it is for men to become pregnant. Gjevjon wrote in her post, translated on the social media site, adding, and I'm quoting, men are men regardless of their sexual fetishes, end quote. The artist later explained that her post was motivated by a desire to bring attention to Norway's hate speech law, which was changed in 2020. Hate speech law? Who determines what's hate speech? I can consider hate speech someone who doesn't like my shirt and hurts my feeling that I want to commit something. Then is it going to be hate speech? All right. And if you say, well, come on, Emil, don't be so silly. Well, maybe this kind of things might seem silly for others. You see, it's subjective. It's based on people's fetishes, sensitivities, way of seeing things. Like I go with my child outside and someone says, your son is ugly like a piece of shit. What am I supposed to do? Charge the guy with what? But that's his opinion, so screw you. Just a second. You see, I'm going to give you a mirror so you can look at yourself. Make it a joke. I mean, I saw something very, very interesting on yesterday, and I watched Tucker Carlson, and he had Mike Tyson. He spoke with Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson said this: I used to get, or I am getting offended sometimes because I think I'm somebody. But when I think that immediately I'm nobody, I immediately don't get offended anymore. So he said, when I feel or I think that I'm somebody, I get offended. If I feel that I'm nobody, I don't feel offended. So I don't know about these guys, have a chip on their shoulder that, anyway, as I said, it would be about my kids. I don't care, man. Call them however you want. I'm not going to listen to. Let's move, kid. Move on. I can, and I'm going to explain to the kid what I need to explain. So the artist later explained, and you have hate speech. All right, now at the time, the country's parliament voted to make hate speech against individuals identified as transgender illegal. Did you hear that? So voted to make hate speech against individuals identifying as transgender illegal. What if you call a champion a tard? Would that be illegal? What if you call, let's say, an Olympian? Hey, you're bad, man. You're a tard, physically retarded or something. There's a definition of a person. Come on, if it's just, has a disability or should that be illegal? I mean, that's a champion. Why this? Why this? Anyway, Tonje Gjevjon also singled out the personal attacks she had been subjected to from trans activists, in particular Norwegian trans activist Kristin Jentoft. The advisor on gender diversity for the Norwegian LGBTQ+ organization Foreningen FRI is a male who identifies as a lesbian mother. Jentoft is known for having filed a police complaint this year against Christina Ellingsen, a representative of Women's Declaration International Norway, WDI. Jentoft was affronted by Ellingsen's statement that men can neither be lesbians nor mothers, with a police investigation launched into Ellingsen's alleged, and I'm quoting, transphobia. Similar to Gjevjon, the person is currently facing the possibility of being sentenced to up to 3 years in prison if found guilty. Reflecting on the attacks she had been subjected to by trans activists over her stance, such as being disavowed by the artwork back in 2017 and having her exhibitions cancelled, Tonje Gjevjon told local media, and I'm quoting, "I was not prepared for the extent of how queer organizations, politicians and activists would demonize a lesbian artist who was not in step. Trans activists contact people I work with portraying me as hateful and warning against being associated with me," end quote. The creator of all lesbian art project, The Hungry Hearts, previously went on record saying, and I'm quoting, "I believe it is absolutely necessary to place biological sex as the basis in all contexts where sex has legal, culture, or practical relevance, and that equating sex with gender identity has harmful discriminatory consequences for women and girls, especially lesbians," end quote. That's it. That's it. That's it. I thought that we are all equal in front of the law. I thought you have free speech, and I thought that you could be allowed to, feel someone uncomfortable, even if you lie, even if you're rude. If you feel that you're somebody, yeah, you feel insulted and all that. If you think that you're nobody, you don't feel about that anything. Or, I put it the other way around. If you really are somebody, then you really would not get insulted by whatever that person says. No? Let's say you're a great artist, or let's say you're a world champion in something, all right? You're a world champion and someone says, hey, you are not good at whatever, you are the world champion. What would you say? You're gonna hurt my feelings? That means you don't believe that you are what you are. Why would you care? You are there. Or if you know you're good at something. You know you're good at something. And someone tells you you're not good. What are you going to do? Sue the person? If you sue that person, that means you sue that person who will challenge your abilities. Why do you care? Because other people will see that it's not true, or they will see that's true. We are far, far from what we were, my friends. We should probably pick up some ancient Greek philosophy. We should maybe take some, I don't know, look at Homer's, Iliad and the Odyssey. We should start from there and probably bypass the Old Testament, and I can say more, but anyway. It's just, these things are not even taught in school anymore. And it's unfortunate, because you end up with these kind of things. I feel insulted. You can't get this person to explain, hey, who cares? Why do you care about it? Well, I feel insulted. Why? Because it's mean. Don't you think that you are mean to me? How? Maybe I don't like the way you look. And that, can I say that? And then why not? Because you think you're perfect. You must think that you are the absolute, the ideal. But you're not. If we start canceling one another and limiting each other groups and individuals' freedoms and liberties, we will end up with having no more freedom. Because if you limit my freedom or liberty to have guns, I will try to limit your freedom of, being a vegan, or I will try to limit your ability to do something you like. And then you're going to try to hurt me back, by taking something else from me, not being able to say something, and I will fight to take something from you. So you have a stock of things that you own, and if you take from me, I'm going to take from you, take from me, we're going to end up with nothing. Is that where we want to end up? Some people don't even think this far, and it's not far, not far at all, not deep at all. Anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.